Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the US dollar index is playing out a bearish divergence, which is good news for Bitcoin. And on top of that, I'll be talking about some Bitcoin price targets we need to pay attention to, the Bitcoin dominance, and as always, Ethereum later in the video. So make sure to watch to the end. First of all, taking a look at the US dollar index chart here on the daily time frame, and right now, as of recording this video, the US dollar index is actually playing out this previous bearish divergence pattern that I covered a little while ago here on the channel. And so once again, a bearish divergence means we're due to see reduced bullish momentum, which usually plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action, if not a pullback. And right now, as of recording this video, it looks like the US dollar index, also known as the DXY, is potentially forming a lower high, which is a sign of bearish price action. It is a sign of bearish price structure. But the ultimate bearish signal that we would need to pay attention to would be a possible break below this line right here, which was previous resistance and has recently acted as new support. So this line is definitely a significant level to pay attention to on the DXY, and this is sitting at around 105.6 to 105.7. So basically, if we end up seeing this bearish divergence continue to play out here in the DXY, and we actually see a confirmed break back below this significant level on the chart, then obviously breaking below a significant level by itself is a bearish signal. Also, if we break below that level, we would be forming a new local lower low after forming a lower high. And so essentially, if we see that signal, that would point towards a potential trend reversal from this bullish trend into potentially a new bearish trend if we break this level on the DXY. And in case you're new to this channel, the DXY or the US dollar index is important to pay attention to because generally speaking, it has pretty much a perfect inverse correlation to Bitcoin. And I say pretty much perfect because it isn't 100% perfect, but it is very accurate generally speaking. Basically, when the DXY is trending to the upside, which is this red line right here, we end up seeing bearish price action for Bitcoin here in the candlesticks. And generally speaking, when the DXY is trending to the downside, that is usually bullish for the price of Bitcoin here on the daily time frame. And obviously, as of recent, the DXY has started to move back to the downside, at least just a little bit from the local high, which so far has already been slightly more bullish for Bitcoin. But like I said, this is not 100% perfect, 100% accurate, because for example, the Bitcoin price has started to already trend back to the upside since 25k back around mid-September, whereas at that time, obviously the DXY was also still trending to the upside. So like I said, it's not 100% perfect, but it is very accurate over time, generally speaking, because essentially the Bitcoin price is usually valued in US dollars. So if the US dollar index, the US dollar itself, is losing value, then it's very easy for Bitcoin to gain value against something that is losing value. And vice versa, if the US dollar is gaining value, then it's very difficult for Bitcoin to also gain value against the US dollar, which is gaining value. So basically, this technical horizontal level here on the DXY chart will be important to pay attention to in the coming days. If we end up seeing a potential break below that level, once again, that would be a bullish signal for Bitcoin, but we just need to wait and see over the next few days. And now, just before getting into some other important Bitcoin and Ethereum charts, first quickly talking about this massive exclusive giveaway happening over at Bitflex. And this giveaway can only be accessed by those of you who are watching these videos and sign up to Bitflex using the link down below this video in the description and in the pinned comments. And if you simply sign up using that link and deposit 100 USDT or more onto Bitflex and make one trade on the derivatives market, that will put you in the running, enter you into this giveaway for the Apple Watch Series 8, which will be drawn in around 1 month from now. So this is a 1 month giveaway. And once again, this is not an exchange-wide giveaway. This is not available everywhere on the internet. This is only for those of you who have signed up using the link down below this video in the description or in the pinned comment. So definitely check that out for an alternative crypto exchange, which by the way requires no KYC for regular trading. But anyway, getting back into the Bitcoin part of this video, this is on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and right now this hidden bullish divergence is still technically playing out on the 3-day time frame. And so like I said, over a month ago, when this hidden bullish divergence confirmed on the 3-day chart, this basically means we're due to see a continuation of the much larger bullish trend that has been playing out since around the end of last year and the beginning of this year. But obviously during a larger bullish trend, it is possible possible to experience shorter term bearish trends like what we saw in between around the middle of July and around the middle of September. But the moment we ran into this significant area of support and formed a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, that basically put the end to this previous short-term bearish trend. But we now need to pay attention to a possible bearish divergence forming again here on the daily time frame. But it is important to understand that at least as of right now, this potential bearish divergence on the daily chart is not yet confirmed. It is not yet in play, because obviously for a bearish divergence, we need to confirm higher highs in the daily candle closes, which has actually confirmed. This has happened in the price, but we have not yet fully confirmed this lower high in place in the daily Bitcoin RSI. Because, for example, if the Bitcoin price continues further to the upside over the next few days, that can pull the RSI further to the upside into potentially higher highs. And obviously, if we have higher highs in the price and higher highs in the RSI, there's no bearish divergence there at all. So basically, we need to see at least 1 to 2 daily candle closes confirm in the red in order to form a lower high and actually cement that lower high in place in the RSI. So at least for now, this is something to pay attention to, but once again, it is not yet confirmed. And as for the daily Bitcoin MACD, as of right now, this is actually crossing back in the bullish direction, showing, yes, an increase in bullish momentum, but with that being said, at least for now, it's still showing relatively low momentum, which basically means we do not really have a strong direction on the chart. So unlike what we saw back here, for example, where it was very clear we had a lot of bullish momentum, we are simply not seeing that same signal here in the MACD compared to what we saw back then. So like I said in my last few videos, this basically means we do not really have a strong direction at the moment in terms of the trend on the daily time frame. But when it comes to significant areas of resistance to pay attention to here on the daily Bitcoin chart, looking at the volume profile indicator, we have this significant area of resistance sitting in between around 27.9k to 28.2k, where the price of Bitcoin has just now confirmed a daily candle close above that resistance. And so, like I've been saying over the last few weeks, if we see a confirmed breakout above that resistance, that is obviously a bullish signal on the daily time frame that we need to pay attention to. And ideally, if the price actually confirms that as new support, basically if we bounce on that level or consolidate above this previous area of resistance, then that simply further confirms the fact that we are really breaking out to the upside. And now that we are seeing this breakout above this significant area of resistance, the next important areas of resistance based on the volume profile indicator are, first of all, this area sitting in between around 29.1k to 29.4k approximately. And above that area, we also have this area of resistance sitting in between around 30.2k to 30.4k. And what's very interesting is if you take a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing high to swing low on the logarithmic settings here on the daily time frame, we have some important Fibonacci levels sitting right around these areas of resistance. First of all, the 50% retracement level was sitting at around 28.1k to 28.2k, right where this previous significant area of resistance is sitting at, where we have just broken out above. And if you're looking at the golden pocket, this is sitting in between around 28.9k to 29.2k, so just below this area of resistance based on the volume profile indicator. And if you're looking at the 78.6% Fibonacci level of resistance, that's sitting at around 30.1k to 30.2k, so right around this area of resistance further to the upside. So obviously on the daily time frame, these are the important resistance areas to pay attention to now that we have seen an initial breakout above this previous significant area of resistance. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, right now we could find a bit of short-term resistance at around 28.7k. And as for short-term support, we have this level of support at around 27.9k to 28k. But if we see a break back below that level, then in that case, the 50% retracement level of support sitting at around 27.3 to 27.4k. And below that, we have the golden pocket acting as support in between around 26.6k to 26.7k. And it is worth mentioning that, of course, the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI is still basically sitting in overbought territories, which once again, as I said in my last video on the channel, means we're likely due to see either some choppy sideways price action, if not a slight pullback to help reset the RSI, because basically right now we are overheated after that massive move to the upside. And what's very interesting is if you're taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance here on the weekly time frame, the Bitcoin dominance has actually just broken broken into a new higher high. And so obviously this signal alone breaking into new higher highs is a bullish signal, and of course breaking out above a resistance, flipping that level into new support, that is also bullish price structure. But it is worth pointing out a possible bearish divergence is forming here in the Bitcoin dominance. Obviously, once again, higher highs forming in the Bitcoin dominance while lower highs are forming here in the RSI. But like I said earlier in the video for Bitcoin on the daily time frame, this potential bearish divergence for the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame is not yet confirmed. So at least for now, the Bitcoin dominance is currently looking more bullish than bearish, which is basically the opposite of an altcoin season. It means Bitcoin is performing much better than the majority of altcoins out there. But when we eventually see a reversal in the Bitcoin dominance coming back to the downside, obviously when that eventually happens, that is known as an altcoin season, where the altcoins are performing much better than Bitcoin. But once again, at least as of right now, we are currently still within this Bitcoin season. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and obviously we're still playing out that rejection from this important area of resistance sitting in between around 1620 to 1660. And if you're looking at the daily Ethereum price oscillators, as of right now, the daily Ethereum MACD is not really showing a lot of bearish or bullish momentum, which basically means as of right now, we're likely going to see somewhat choppy sideways price action here on the daily time frame, because we don't really have a strong direction on the daily chart in terms of the trend. And as for the daily Ethereum RSI, obviously this bullish divergence is technically still active and playing out here on the daily time frame, because we have already confirmed the lower lows in place in the price and the higher lows in place here in the RSI, with a decent bounce back to the upside in the RSI. And so like I said in my last video on the channel, this basically means we're due to see either a sideways consolidation, if not a bit more of a bullish relief over the next 1 to 2 weeks or so. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, we have just seen a perfect rejection from the 38.2% Fibonacci level of resistance, sitting at around 1605 approximately. But if we were to see a breakout above that level of resistance, then in that case we have the 50% retracement level at around 1630, and the golden pocket sitting in between around 1660 to 1670 acting as resistance. And as for short-term support, we could find some support at around 1570 approximately, but if we break back below that level, then the next support to pay attention to is sitting at around 1520 to 1530. But either way, if you want to know how to make a lot of profit in crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or simply chopping around sideways like right now, you can make money in crypto by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen, because the video in the top left shows you how you can easily profit from bullish or bearish price action using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.